Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's April 2nd, 2017. In the world of sports, college basketball, the women's tournament, the championship was won today by South Carolina over Mississippi State 67 to 55. I'm going to show you what this rigged score and outcome has to do with tomorrow's men's championship, North Carolina versus Gonzaga, and also the big story going on in the Carolinas right now, the bathroom bill. It's being worked out in North Carolina by their legislators. Who can go in what bathroom? Can a man who identifies as a woman go in a woman's restroom? Can a woman who identifies as a man go in a men's restroom? They have this bathroom bill debate, and this emerged last year, July 21st, 2016. This news that day was that the NBA, because of the controversy in the Carolinas with the bathroom and gender, they took a political stance and they said that North Carolina was being bigoted and they were going to move the All-Star game, which was supposed to be in North Carolina, to another city, which they did. So the point is, the bathroom bill has been tied to basketball going back to July 21st, 2016. Also, just March 30th, 2017, in the midst of the ongoing tournaments, the bathroom bill reemerged in the headlines. Deal to repeal North Carolina's bathroom bill clears key hurdle. And this day when this was written, I brought up this point about the bathroom bill, that it has the gematria connecting to March Madness. And this year, the tournament brackets were released on March 12th, the 71st day of the year. If you missed my videos before the tournament began, I explained I expected big representation from the Carolinas in the Final Four championship, and I thought we would see Jesuit representation as well. In the men's tournament, we have the Jesuit school Gonzaga versus North Carolina. In the women's tournament, South Carolina just won a day after the men's team, South Carolina, had made it to the Final Four for the first time. And if you've missed my work on this year's tournament and tournaments past, I've often called the champion way before it happened and by the numbers. Like yesterday, I put out a video before any of the Final Four games were played. I said 77 was the number on the day. Both winning scores, 77 points, and very forced finishes, especially in North Carolina, where the team missed 4 free throws on purpose at the end to stay at 77. So anyway, we're going to talk about the bathroom bill, the score of the women's game tonight, what it has to do with the North Carolina game, and why we can expect North Carolina to likely win tomorrow over Gonzaga. So let's start right here. South Carolina won with 67 points, and this score points right to the northern neighbor, North Carolina. In the language of gematria, one of the most basic methods, North Carolina sums to 67. If you've ever seen my work on North Carolina before, from sports to things in the news, 67's always big there. South Carolina wins with 67. And also, with regards to this being the women's tournament, International Women's Day is March 8th, the 67th day of every single year. In the language of Jewish gematria, the word female also sums to 67. Notice also the 42. Here we are, the ladies' championship on April 2nd, 4/2. But anyway, 67, no doubt this is a tribute to tomorrow's game, North Carolina. In case you're new here and you're going, wait a minute, you're saying that this means this because the score ended this, you're probably asking the question, well, how can they ensure scores? Look, follow my work and what I've been documenting. These scores are set, they're to the point, they're not missed, these games are rigged this way. I truly think they're using technology to ensure that the scores are exact. Watch the video I put out yesterday on what happened in the Oregon-North Carolina game. Oregon's 74th point gave me deja vu of the championship last year. Very interesting shots that seemingly should not have gone in the hoop that did. Check it out. If you're not watching with a careful eye, you're going to miss a lot. So anyway, 67 to 55. I'm going to show you here that bathroom bill also has the gematria 55. Think a definite bathroom bill tribute. The word sacrifice also has gematria 55. Losing team with 55 points. And again, this number 71. I should mention that this number 71 is very important to the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church always has heavy representation in the tributes in these basketball tournaments. Last year, Villanova's win, the Catholic school, very much synced up with the Pope departing the country on the Jesuit order's birthday, the Masonic order within the Catholic Church. Anyway, Gonzaga, a Jesuit Catholic school, Catholic 71. We just talked about how big this number is to the tournament. I want you to know that Gonzaga, the Catholic school, 71, and Gonzaga Bulldogs, the small way, also 71. I think they're the fitting team for North Carolina to advance over tomorrow. We'll find out for sure by the time it's all said and done, but I'm going to show you what lines up so well in just a second for North Carolina to defeat Gonzaga. With regards to this July 21st news about the NBA pulling its game because of the bathroom bill equals 127 using the alphabetic order. And think about the date July 21st, 721, 721 in reverse. This was July 21st news. The number 127 is the 31st prime number, and basketball also has gematria of 31. Last year we saw Villanova win for the first time in 31 years, winning after they had last won in 85. Basketball equals 85 with the alphabetic order. I'll show you something about the first March Madness before the end of this video. The first March Madness was 1985. The tournament began in 1939. The 47th season of the tournament, they changed the name to March Madness. That began in 85, like the word basketball. So here's what we got. Gonzaga tomorrow, their tournament record right now all time is 26-19. Tomorrow will be their 46th tournament game all time. March Madness also has the gematria 46. North Carolina, their current tournament record is 117 wins and 45 losses. And if they win tomorrow, it'll be their 118th win in the tournament all time. Notice that March Madness also has gematria of 118 like Gonzaga. Further, look at their record, 117 and 45. That means they've played 162 games. Tomorrow will be the 163rd game. Gonzaga Bulldogs equals 163. The perfect opponent for their 163rd game to win their 6th championship as a school if they do it. As I explained, the first post I wrote about this men's tournament, I wrote how Donald Trump won big in the Carolinas. Donald Trump's been connected to the sports championships this year and at the end of last year during the time of the election. I said it would make a lot of sense for the Carolinas to do well. Plus, we saw in college football, Clemson avenged its loss in the championship from a year earlier. We saw the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers win the College World Series. It makes sense for North Carolina to avenge their loss this year. And also the tribute to Donald Trump, who won big in the Carolinas in the primaries. So anyway, Trump's campaign is Make America Great Again, which also equals 163. You know, these are the things I was talking about before the tournament even began. March 11th, I wrote my first post about this. Look for North Carolina to avenge its loss last year in the championship. This is North Carolina's 47th tournament all time, using the alphabetic order, which is ordinal. The word time has gematria 47. Saturn is the keeper of time. This year, the championship's on the 93rd day of the year. Dean Smith won the championship in 93 with North Carolina. 93rd day of the year, 47th year in the tournament for North Carolina. And it's been just a little more than 2 years since Dean Smith passed away. The date Dean Smith passed away was a date with 44 numerology. Tomorrow's championship is on a date with 44 numerology. Watch number 44 for North Carolina tomorrow, Justin Jackson. He's been scoring the 44th points for North Carolina in every game. I suspect he'll do it tomorrow. I just want you to know the name Justin equals 93, the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. Again, time is 47. The 47th year of the men's tournament was when they changed it to March Madness. And the word clock in gematria, which pertains to time, clock, 44. You know, he wears number 44. He keeps getting these 44 tributes. He was doing it in last year's tournament where they lost to Villanova as well. So down below, I'll link all these posts if you want to share them with your friends and family. Just real quick, I'll remind you what I documented about Michael. He turned 54 this year, 45 days before the championship. Jordan, 45. Remember when he was wearing this number, supposedly for his father who was murdered by the numbers July 23rd in 93. The thing about him being 54 is that it's often paired with 93, and here's why. Sun has gematria 54. They tell us the sun is 93 million miles away. Think about how the sun is the true keeper of time, but to the occult, Saturn is the keeper of time. And some people say that the sun is an allegory for Jesus Christ. God's son is 93, so is crucifix. I said after the Elite Eight games, I said I suspect in the Final Four we'll see Oregon and South Carolina lose because they're the only two teams in this tournament who've scored 93 points. Oregon's the only state with 93 date numerology. Remember, Oregon's the 33rd state. Think about Jesus on the cross at 33. Jesus equals 74. Cross equals 74. Oregon's the 33rd state, the only that sums to 74. And again, last night in the Final Four game, the very bizarre shot for the 74th. And it was so amazing how it went in with exactly 42 seconds on the clock. That blew my mind. 42 has the gematria of 74. These are some of the most special numbers in the Bible. The New Testament is where the story of Jesus is. The first. Real quick, New Testament, in case you don't know, in case I'm going too fast. New Testament, the Christian portion of the Bible, it begins with the 42 generations leading up to Jesus. New Testament 42, Savior 42, 42 generations to Jesus. The beginning of the New Testament is called the Gospel, and that's where the story is of Jesus, the cross, the Messiah, you know. Jesus' story are known as parables. So anyway, really special number. I'm just trying to show you where the relevance of these numbers are, how they come up again and again, how they're used in these games, in the rituals. You learn to see how the numbers are used. You can often see how the fix is in before it happens. Like how yesterday I called 77 as the number before any of it happened. So anyway, Michael Jordan, he turned 54, 45 days before the tournament. He played his ball in Chicago after North Carolina, right? Illinois has the gematria of 45 and 54. And let's not forget that the reason Jordan went from North Carolina to the Bulls is because the Portland Trail Blazers passed on him, which is where Nike's headquartered, which is where he has his major shoe brand with. See how this all comes together? And you guys want to know something sick? Do you want to know something sick about Jordan and his shoes? I just caught this. If you don't follow my blog, I put out a lot of information. Jordan has a brand new North Carolina type of shoe coming out here. Did you know this? Jordan has a new shoe coming out. I got to show this to you real quick. This is important. This just shows you how scripted it all really is. Jordan has this new shoe coming out April 15th. He played for North Carolina. I guess this one's, a lot of people are excited about. This shoe's coming out right after the tournament. That seems to have this major alignment with Jordan. And remember, we just saw Jerry Krause drop dead at 77, 33 days after Jordan's birthday. Again, that's part of the reason that's the big number on this tournament. North Carolina has the gematria of 77. They beat the Ducks yesterday that have the gematria of 77. ESPN kept saying 77 years in between Ducks appearances in the Final Four. Such a forced thing to say when they'd been in the first tournament, and this was the 79th, meaning 78 years later, but they're talking about the 77 in between. You know, Gamecocks equals 77. Mark Few and Gonzaga beat the Gamecocks with 77 after the Gamecocks had advanced to the Final Four, winning with 77. We've seen this number a lot in the tournament. And last year, Villanova won with 77 points in the tribute to the Society of Jesus Christ. The final score was 74. North Carolina, 704 area code. Lost to Villanova with 77. If you add 74 plus 77, it's 151. Jesus Christ equals 151. 151 is the 36th prime number. Villanova, 36. When you sum every number 1 through 36, it totals 666. Remember, it was Big Smooth who hit the game winner. I can't remember the full name of the point guard for Villanova, but the man who got the assist, his name equals 108 too. 108 was a huge number in sports last year. Huge number. Cubs broke the 108-year drought. Speaking of the Carolinas, Coastal Carolina, Chanticleers, 108. And there was a whole lot more. 108 City. That's the number of geometry, by the way. Geometry, forwards and back, no matter how you run the alphabetic order, 108. Read Genesis 10:8, where it introduces Nimrod, who built the circular Tower of Babel, said to be the first Freemason construction project. So Jerry Krause dead at 77. Big number on the tournament. Jordan synced up with the championship date. Jordan won his three-peat in 93, the year his father died again. Supposedly wore that number 45 for his father. His father's name in gematria sums to 237. He died on July 23rd, 23/7. Got a video on it if you've never seen it. See my work on Jordan and Kobe, how their careers ended in a perfect tribute, a ritual with one another. It's amazing what's going on in the world of scripted sports. And people don't want to know about it. But again, here's what I wrote March 11th about, don't overlook North Carolina. They could be the team. Championship on April 3rd, Tar Heels 43 like champion. Last year, Villanova scored 43 points against them in the second half. So what else? What else, Truth Seeker? There's always more. I've given you a lot. Gonna put out another video tonight on LeBron getting his 49th win and the Cavs winning with 135. You think this post is mind-blowing? Just wait until I show you in the LeBron James post. These sports, they're fixed. Collegiate to pro. I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to tell you. I'm sure there is, and I'm sure I'll think of it while the video's uploading. Just some more things you can know. Donald J. Trump, his author name that he uses on his books, also has the same gematria as North Carolina. I pointed out how Roy Williams, he's 66 right now. Revelation, the 66th book of most Bibles. We're going to be talking about Revelation and LeBron James and basketball in the next video. But his upcoming 67th birthday is later this year. Revelation has gematria of 67 like North Carolina. We just saw, the South Carolina team win with 67. This is what I wrote about on March 11th. Just to show you how relevant my work always is. I was showing the overlap with Tar Heels and Trump. But anyway, just so many synchronicities. And right here, you can see that Roy Williams' birthday is 121 days after the championship. Revelation also has the gematria of 121. This Kennedy Meeks, who seems to be maybe the player that's going to have the biggest tribute with the championship. Kennedy Meeks, I noticed his birth numerology. He was born on a date with 121 numerology. It's the 79th men's tournament. His full name's 79. Champion 79. He just turned 22. Just yesterday, Barry, the man who missed the last two free throws. North Carolina yesterday missed 4 straight free throws to stay on 77. He missed the first 2, and Barry, whose birthday was yesterday, missed the last 2. Justin Jackson just turned 22. 22, the basketball number as well. From his birthday to the championship, 58 days, and his name's 58, like Freemasonry, like secret society. As I explained in the longer video I put out yesterday, previewing this as well, I said what's going on in the world of sports, collegiate and pro, is people are being bred like animals to play on these teams. You know, it's that sick. It's that sick, Truth Seeker. This Kennedy Meeks, he's not just anybody. He was farmed to play this position, to be this giant man on North Carolina. Stuff's been going on for a long time and people need to know. Until next time, Truth Seeker.